Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I go by the name of Hirevue, but my real name is Kwama. I am back with another video. I'm so excited for this video because it's something I love and truly want to be, but if it doesn't happen then that's okay, but it will happen in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. So without wasting any of your time, please just first like, comment and subscribe. So on today's video I'm going to be speaking about Etihad cabin crew application process and the questions that are asked. I've watched plenty and plenty of videos and I'm not going to say anything different. I'm just going to tell you what I did and my experience and the questions that and some of the YouTubers that I watched before recording this video. And yeah man, and what inspired me to apply for Etihad cabin crew. So I didn't really much, I've never in the past, I've always been interested, let me just say, okay, I've always been interested in working for Emirates because that's the first airline I knew about that was like taking cabin crew without you needing to have a license and all of that. That's the first I knew about. So the first time I found out about cabin crew, it was Emirates. So as time went, I found out about Qatar Airways and all of that. But then now Etihad, I also found out about Etihad, but I think a while back, a long time ago, like they would say no, you have to go to Dubai, to Abu Dhabi actually, for the interview and for the open day if you're going to be able to go there. There was no online application process or like online interview whatsoever. So I was like, I can't afford that, I can't afford to go to Abu Dhabi, so why even bother applying? So this time, the last time, I think I spoke about it on my video when I went to the Emirates cabin crew open day. When I was invited to that open day, I met someone, obviously I met people there and they were speaking and someone was talking about Etihad and I was like, don't they require you to go to Abu Dhabi? And they were like, no, you can actually apply and have an online interview. They call you for an online interview. So I was like, oh, I'll actually check it out. But I never did. I just thought about it. I was just like, okay, I'll check it out. Forgot about it. And then one morning I was like scrolling through TikTok and then I saw this other lady from Etihad Airways cabin crew and she was speaking, saying application process and all of that. And then I just followed her and I was like, maybe I should apply to see what the application process is like and to just see what's gonna happen, you know, because I remember saying it's my last time applying for cabin crew because Qatar Airways, like 3 times I went to the open day 3 times and never made it any further than the first round. So every time I was just like, I didn't even make it to the second round. I'm just like, I am done. But yeah, I guess I was done with Qatar. I don't know guys, I guess I'm not done. Anyway, this video is not about that. So I applied on the 5th, I think on the 5th of December. I just decided, you know what, let me apply. I applied and the response was so quick because I think I was scrolling through LinkedIn and then I was like, let me search for what's this, let me search for Etihad Airways, followed them, then actually checked their jobs and I was like, oh, cabin crew worldwide. Clicked on the link, started applying, answered a few questions, uploaded my CV. Yeah, I think I uploaded my CV and that was it. I received a response immediately. It didn't even take that long. I think it was immediate or the following day. I was told that I'm invited to a Hirevue interview and they ask you questions. So I went on YouTube, searched for Etihad cabin crew and Genuine Me. I think I watched Genuine Me's videos and other videos, but the video I can remember, or the channel I can still remember, is Genuine Me because she speaks also a lot about cabin crew and all of that. So they called me for the Hirevue interview and then I did it on the 7th of December. I did the Hirevue interview on the 7th of December and still I haven't received a response still because that response was so quick. I'm like, oh, they're probably going to be quick with this one as well. So my response, I haven't checked my status though. I haven't checked my status, but it's still saying in progress. Anyway, so the Hirevue interview questions, I wrote some down. And also I thought you were going to record the video sitting down, but you have to be standing. I was like, oh my god, because my camera quality is not so good. So I was literally like, I have to be standing and I have to use the front camera in order to see the questions. But I was like, you know what, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shoot the video standing, but my entire body wasn't showing. I don't think my feet were showing. I don't think my feet were showing because of my space. I don't have like much space. Anyway, so in the Hirevue questions, so they ask you a question, then you press record, and then I think you're able to see the question as well while you're recording your response. And you're given, like, you don't have a certain amount of tries. I think it's just, what's this word, I don't know what's the English word, but you can like repeat the answering the questions as many times as you need to. I think I did it once or 2 times for the first question, and then with the other questions I was just like, I'm not gonna redo, like I'm not gonna redo, I'm just gonna, because you're gonna want it to be perfect. I'm just not gonna redo, I'm just gonna submit it as it is. And then yeah, I was gonna say the first question, I'm not gonna mention all the questions on the Hirevue. So it says, please state your height. You tell them your height, then tell them about yourself, your work experience, and what inspired you to apply at Etihad. Now I was very honest in my response. I was like, because I thought Etihad, like what I just said, I thought they, like, you still had to go to Abu Dhabi for the interview and all of that. So that's why I never applied, but I finally decided to apply because I saw this other lady and heard yada yada and all of that, you know. But obviously your response is going to be different from mine. And then they're like, also this is question number 2, but I'm just going to do 3 questions, not all questions, just not to make this video too long. But you can, there's plenty of videos here on YouTube that explain. You just say Etihad cabin crew, I promise you'll find all the answers or all the questions you need. But obviously answers differ because we're all different. But they're more or less the same. And then it was, the second question was, please give an example of a time when you witness an individual not following established rules, policies, procedures, or safety protocols. What actions did you take and what were the results? So I think they just want to see whether you're a responsible person who, not necessarily responsible, but what do you do when you see someone else doing something wrong? Do you just sit back and not say anything? Do you reprimand them? Do you, do you go to the supervisor and tell the supervisor about it? I think they just want to see what kind of person you are in the workspace or in the work environment. And then there's also another question, tell us about a time when you were excited to pursue a new opportunity or challenge. What motivated you to go after it, and how did that experience lead you to apply for this role at Etihad? I don't even remember how I responded to this question, but I responded obviously. And all my experiences have mostly been customer centered or customer centric. Like my work experience, I just spoke until I couldn't speak anymore. I think you have like 3 minutes. I can't remember properly whether you have 3 minutes to record your response or not. So this is what they're looking for. I didn't really write down the requirements. This is just what's written on the website, like when you do the assessment. And I think it took me like longer than I expected, because after the Hirevue interview there were other multiple choice questions that I had to do, and then there were questions also based on like, they show you an aircraft, how an aircraft looks like, and then you have to answer questions based on that using the resources. At first I didn't understand. They were like, answer the question using the resources, and they were like, oh, I have to actually check. And they were like, so what would you do, where would you place passenger if this person? And I actually learned a lot from that, because there's some words that I didn't know that cabin crew uses, and I was like, oh, actually this is really cool. And then yeah, so this is what they're looking for: individuals who thrive under pressure. So if you know you thrive under pressure, this job is for you. If you adapt to diverse cultures, it's definitely for you. Because you will be working with like people from all over the world, literally. And then you must be empathetic towards, like, you must just be, I feel like you must just be an empathetic person. And they say confidence, obviously you must exude confidence. Even if you're shy, I think just go for it. Professionalism, you should be professional. Obviously it's a workspace and you should be able to think on your feet and remain calm in challenging situations. Deliver service with warmth and care. And I just wrote down all the things that was on their websites. And then safety is the heart of everything. Like safety, like I remember this other girl was explaining, I think she's from South Africa, and she is from South Africa, and she works for Etihad cabin crew. She recently started, and she recorded her journey and like her all like Etihad timeline. And she was like speaking about safety, like you have to not mention safety, but she was just saying that safety is like, it's a big thing for them, for cabin crew. You have to, like, you know, adhere to rules and all of that. And then clear communication, obviously you have to communicate. I think in any working environment you just need to communicate. Attention to detail, and also strict adherence to procedures. And the post is obviously based in Abu Dhabi. I remember the song, it got Beyonce Nobody, we like to party. We're in Abu Dhabi, we like to, obviously you're not going there to party, you're going there for a job. They provide you with the accommodation and transports. As I mentioned before, there are multiple choice questions, and one of the questions was, I'll just insert a screenshot. It was, you've noticed lately that one of your co-workers has been arriving late to work, unprepared. Like, what would you do? What would you say? But it's like multiple choice, so you select an answer on what would you do. Like, what would you do if you were experiencing that at work? And there are a whole lot of other questions that I didn't screenshot because I thought I wasn't going to share this video. I was like, I always share everything, maybe that's why some things don't work out. But I was like, you know what, I love sharing my experiences, and maybe others can learn from my experiences as well. I love that. And also I was like, okay, maybe I'll share at a later stage. But now I'm just like, maybe I'll share after 3 months. But I'm like, I'm gonna forget some of the things, because like, yeah. But anyway, you get the point. And yeah, man, I think that's it. What else did I want to say? There's nothing much I wanted to say. It was just exciting. I was like, yo, they replied so quickly. And obviously after they say after your Hirevue, like when you get a response for the other interview, which is the interview with the recruiters. I think that's what the other video says. So after your Hirevue, you get your interview with the recruiters. But I haven't checked my status. My status, the last time I checked, was saying in progress. And I think they tell you when it's unsuccessful, or I don't know if I have to go check and see if it's unsuccessful, or they're gonna send an email and saying it's unsuccessful. Anyway guys, all the best for your future applications or for applying. And just comment down below, have you ever applied in Etihad, or which airline? Like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm no longer applying because I'm turning 30 this year. Wada. But yeah, I just don't stop. I don't know when will I stop. Maybe eventually I'll stop. But anyway, I hope you guys are well and taking care of yourselves. I'm gonna end this video here because I talk a lot. I talk a lot. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, all the best for your future endeavors. Endeavors, that's what they like saying when a job is like, we regret to inform you, and they're like, all the best for your future endeavors. Like, why? Or I remember on my at UWs I applied, they're like, all the best for your future endeavors. It's like, why?